found quite consistent with a lot of the things that he was saying on his YouTube channel, because he had his own YouTube channel. He was a follower of Kevin Samuel. Not exactly. It's just because, again, it looks like he was a fan. A fan doesn't necessarily mean a follower, right? I guess it can be interwoven, right? But again, that's a stretch to really just attach his name to just another. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about this guy. His name is Frank James. Right? So yesterday, let me just put this on the side a little bit. Yesterday, I was on my way to the city, New York City. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Yesterday, yes. Yeah. And one of my colleagues sent me, one of my partners, I should say, right? Sent me a link to this news, literally like a few minutes after it happened, right? Yes, I was in a train into the city, and this guy has basically caused a bunch of commotion in New York City. He threw gas into a subway train car and started shooting everywhere. Basically, he shot 33 times and shot about 10 people. Okay, didn't kill anyone. Okay, he didn't kill anyone. This guy right here, let me show you his full picture so you can see it. This guy right here, right? All right, so let me go ahead and share and play some of this video with you.
We begin tonight with ABC's Janna Norman here in New York City and elsewhere, and his alleged path that led to that subway platform. You will also hear from a witness tonight in that subway car describing the scene as it was unfolding. We begin tonight with ABC's Janna Norman on the scene for us again tonight.
This is the moment police arrested the suspect for the subway rampage, taking him into custody in the middle of the day on a busy Manhattan.
All right, so that's him right there. So this guy, let me drag it to a place where you can see his face. Yeah, that guy right there. He looks scary, doesn't it? Right? But anyway, shot up everywhere, shot 10 people, and this was the bag that he had, right? And this was the van. This guy drove all the way from Wisconsin via Philadelphia, and this is people running for their lives. Okay, so let me play that real quick.
Station. They say this video.
That's him walking to the station.
Timeline. With the help of this image, they say shows that U-Haul driving into Brooklyn hours before the shooting. According to police, James Park.
That's him right there.
Far from the subway station.
He was dragging one luggage, small luggage. He also had another backpack in his hands. He was wearing like he looked like a city worker, doesn't it? Right? He had a gas mask on with a helmet.
They say this video.
And that's him trying to enter. That's him trying to enter the subway. Okay, I actually do have an assignment, a project going on in New York City right now that will end next week, and I take this subway almost every morning right now, right? And this happened yesterday, right? So literally yesterday. All right, so you see that, right? He harmed about 10 people. That's the guy right there. So they didn't find him for another 30 hours after that event. He actually escaped from the subway station. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Let me play this real quick.
Imagine enormous relief there in that neighborhood.
And David, that is exactly what a young woman who saw the immediate aftermath of the attack yesterday called that news a relief. And there was the mom who I spoke with yesterday. I saw her again today crossing the street with 4 young children. When I told her police caught Frank James, she said, I know, put her hand to her heart, pointed to the sky and said,
all right, so at least we're grateful that nobody died, I am grateful that nobody died. But a couple of questions that I wanted to get answered here. A lot of people are connecting this event to the Manosphere. Some people are connecting it to the Manosphere. Some people are connecting it to YouTubers, right? But that's like connecting every bad event that happens in life to just media in general, right? And yes, we can connect them. People are being influenced by media. That's a real thing, right? But instead of pinpointing Manosphere, like I feel like Manosphere, certain rhetorics are dangerous, and yes, people like this can be born from a lot of the extreme ideologies and BTAD type of rhetorics that you find in this space, right? But the bottom line is this: just like I said with the Will Smith stuff, this man is to be blamed for his own problems. In fact, there was something that I found quite consistent with a lot of the things that he was saying on his YouTube channel, because he had his own YouTube channel. He was a follower of Kevin Samuels. Not exactly. It's just because, again, it looks like he was a fan. A fan doesn't necessarily mean a follower, right? I guess it can be interwoven, right? But again, that's a stretch to really just attach his name to just another person that has a media platform. It doesn't make any sense, right? I guess it makes sense to some people, but I feel like if you're just going to attach it, you have a bias, you have an agenda, right? To pull a content creator down, right? Doesn't mean it's perfect. As a matter of fact, I am a critic of the Kevin Samuels of this world and the Manosphere in general. But I don't think we're doing ourselves a favor when we point fingers. But if we're looking for a solution to avoid this kind of stuff in the community in general, then we can say, hey, maybe we should pay attention to some of the things that we say. If you sit down on the panel for 5 hours and a whole lot of it, maybe not majority because I don't want to exaggerate, right? A whole lot of it is about bashing women, you are going to create certain types of character. Doesn't mean you're responsible, but just so you know, the influence is influential, right? It's going to help create certain type of character. It's just a fact of life. So, to whom much is given, much is required. Maybe you should be aware, right? Now, there's some things that haven't exactly been consistent with the news since it broke out yesterday. Tariq Nasheed pointed out that they first said that it was 5'5" black men, and then eventually it was 6-foot guy. I could see how that can happen, But he's asking questions. Is there some kind of shadiness going on, or we're just playing victim again, right? I'm not saying we're not a victim. Are we playing victim? There's a difference between being a victim in reality and perpetuating that or helping perpetuate that by playing victim, right? On an ongoing basis. It's something we have to be careful about, right? Yeah, I heard it was saying a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, right? There's a lot of YouTubers who do that. They lack empathy and these are sizable books. They're minimum 200 pages. You can download them absolutely for free by simply going to, for example, this one, you just go to getmymarriageback.com, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, realestatemoneysecrets.com. So yes, I am a 3 times author. Those books are out there for your consumption, and they are also available everywhere on Amazon, anywhere that you pick up books. So in case you prefer a physical book like that, or the experience that certain groups of people have had. See, I don't like to speak to the experience of certain group of people. Like, for example, as a Nigerian, I don't speak to the experience of Igbo people with the Biafra agitation and stuff like that. I don't speak to it. As a matter of fact, as a Yoruba man, I don't speak to the Yoruba nation because I don't know enough. I'm not educated enough to be able to speak to it. How much more another group of people? So there's a lot of people talking on the internet that almost seems like they're always on the side of the oppressors. That's why sometimes I may come off as offensive. Some people call me offensive. It is what it is, right? Because again, I only speak to things I understand. The things I understand is real estate. I understand relationships. I understand marriage, right? Those 4 things, right? I understand marketing. I can add one more to it, right? I can speak to it. I can argue with it. I can make absolute statements when it comes to those things. But everything else, I don't know, right? So yes, he, as a black man that had a lot of videos, a lot of hateful things to say about black women, about non-black people, about whites, like eventually we're gonna have to start to read your energy and not necessarily what you're saying. We're reading your energy, not what you're saying. Naturally, we'll do that anyway because we have incredible radar for bullshit. People like to say words matter only to a certain point. I'm reading your energy, and your energy tells me a lot more about the trauma that you may have gone through. Yes, that is an absolute. Okay, right? So, Tariq Nasheed is saying maybe there's some kind of setup for stop and frisk. Uh, Again, everyone is speculating. This is all speculation, right? The only thing I can tell you instead of speculation is that, gentlemen, work on yourself. Work on your mental health. You're a human like the rest of us. Okay? Be careful what kind of rhetoric you're plugged in onto. Be careful what kind of content you're enjoying out there. The most popular content out there they tend to be toxic in nature. Okay? It's just what it is. It's more entertaining. Okay? All right? So I wouldn't necessarily blame it. I won't blame it on Manosphere. I would definitely think, yes, if you are in the Manosphere space and you have very, very strong opinions, about women, about certain social issues, stuff like that, you want to be careful because eventually you will eat yourself up. Because life is really not that deep. It's deep, but not that deep. Okay? All right? They said he's always been alone all his life. That's what the sister actually said, right? Of course, some people are starting to speculate that his FBA is not none of. We don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. What matters right now is that you, as a man, in the society we live in right now, if it's westernized or it's being westernized, if you live in Lagos, it's being westernized, right? You have to be careful about your mental health. You have to learn how relationships work. You have to learn power dynamics. That means avoid playing the victim. Playing the victim is not something you wake up and say deliberately, intentionally, I'm going to play the victim. It's about being self-aware to really start to read your own words. Start to read your own rhetoric. Start to read your own insights. Or start to read your own outlook on life. Is it healthy for you? Do you have a healthy balance of the issues of life, social issues, and stuff like that? You need a healthy balance. Why? For yourself, not for anyone else. Because if anything crazy like this happened and you made it happen, you will get locked up. And you may end up hurting the people you love the most, not just yourself. Okay? I mean, this guy was talking about things like elimination of black people. I mean, come on. Come on. In one breath, he doesn't like the black women. In the other breath, it's like, come on. Work on yourself before you get on YouTube and start shooting videos for other people. Again, we're talking about fake gurus. There's fake gurus everywhere on YouTube. People just jump on YouTube. I'm looking for more people that have other lives outside of YouTube. Doesn't mean you can be a full-time YouTuber, healthy, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely, okay? Because once you start getting some attention, it gets in your head because you're human like the rest of us. Yes, it gets in your head. But if you have other lives and you stay humble, not stay woke, fuck woke, right? Stay humble. You realize that anyone can pull any kind of rug from under you. You can ask me. I've had multiple YouTube channels pulled from under me for no reason, by the way. If you understand that nothing lasts forever, if you understand that no condition is permanent, then you will humble yourself. Humble yourself. So what's the bottom line here? Okay? If you play a victim, you're going to eventually become a victim. If you are a victim, I'm sorry. Because yes, there are real victims, okay? Black people generally around the world are victims, okay, of white supremacy, yes. But that's different from playing a victim. Gentlemen, you can't afford to play a victim, to be playing a victim. You will perpetuate misery and suffering for yourself, okay? Instead, there are certain powers that you have access to, and you just may not know. But you should know starting right now, and then start to ask more questions so you can engage those powers. And then make the best out of this beautiful life that we have right now. You're such a lucky man. Ladies, you're so lucky to be alive today. There's so much beautiful things going on around us right now. And I know you may not be able to see that because of particular experiences, but try your best to start to see life a little bit differently. I'm not speaking to victims. I'm speaking to people that tend to play the victim because they've been a victim, right? It's something we have to be careful. That's all I'm saying. You know, I want to be very empathetic when I say this. It's something that we just have to be careful with, okay, as individuals, okay? If anybody is bringing any kind of beef to your doorsteps, right, always ask yourself, does this person have anything to lose? Do they have anything to live for? Just ask that question. It just may not be worth it. I promise. It just may not be worth it. I'm not asking you to take the higher road. I'm asking you, right? 1 second here. I'm asking you to do the best for yourself. That's all I'm asking you to do. Here. Yep, that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to take care of yourself. I'm asking you to engage in your own power. I'm asking you to make the most out of this life for yourself and your family. Because when you do that, it's highly rewarding. When you do that, it's highly rewarding. Let's see here. What's going on here? All right, so let me go back. Let's go back to our screen here. Let's make sure that all right, so let me share my screen. Let me go back to sharing my screen, and let's just a few more minutes to cover some of the news that's going on today.